And then, of course, our sort of big headliner for this year is a young woman named Esperanza Spalding. And you may or may not be familiar with her. She's really very, made a big splash, I guess it was 2011. On the Grammy, she won Best New Artist. And it's not Best New Jazz Artist, it's like Best New Artist. You know, other people that have won Best New Artist are like the Beatles, the Carpenters, you know, I mean, it's like she's up there with all these pop people. And it's the first time a jazz artist has ever won that. I think she beat out Justin Bieber and a few other folks like that. But anyway, she is amazing, amazing bass player. She sings and plays the bass simultaneously. She's just wonderful. We're super excited that she's going to be here. And then very much, her music is very much grounded in the jazz tradition, but not bound by it by any means. She's very much influenced by everything from Brazilian music to hip-hop and rap music to Shostakovich. I mean, she just has such a wide variety of influences in her music. She went to school, like I said, she grew up in Portland. She went to the Berklee College of Music, graduated early. She was actually hired, she was the youngest faculty member ever to be hired at the Berklee School of Music in Boston. But then she just blew up and became so big, she's not teaching anymore. She's just touring and writing and playing, so we're excited about that. One other thing I should mention about the evening concerts, during the daytime, well, actually, here's what educational focus, we'll talk about like this. We are bringing back an option for the groups to compete.
Yay.
And that had been gone for a little while. You know, when the festival started, it had been for a long time a competitive festival. And that's a whole can of worms if you want to argue, you know, is music and the arts something where you can compete? And I am not here to, you know, tell you the answer. I see both sides of it. I understand that in an ideal world we would all, you know, we would want to play and sing for the love of doing it, and I think that we do, ultimately. But sometimes from a motivational standpoint, it can be, and it gets, you know, students to work things up to a higher level. So it is an option. The groups don't have to compete if they don't want to. They will get the same clinics, the same everything afforded to the other schools. They just won't get the numbers and they won't get the ranking or whatever. So we have this competitive option. So that means the groups that score the highest in their various divisions, and they're divided by size of the school and things like that, which gets a little complicated because those Canadian schools don't quite line up with the U.S. ones. The secondary schools are with different stuff. Anyway, we're having to work through all that. But so those groups will get selected for what we have called the Young Artist Concert, and that's each afternoon, starting about 4:30 in the Dome. All the students will file back in, and they'll get to hear who gets selected to play, and then they'll come up and play a tune on that big stage during the afternoon. We also, a unique thing to this festival, and I judge a lot of jazz festivals throughout the country, this was one of the only ones that has this element, but students can compete as individuals. The soloist room that you mentioned that you were the site manager for. So they come and they play and they get feedback from adjudicators. What we're doing with the soloist this year, the winning soloist from each day, we're going to, rather than doing Hamps Club that we had off to the side there that kind of always went long and then it pushed to the start time of a night concert, those winning soloists are going to be the sort of the intermission part on the big stage at night. And that is something that was an older element of the festival that we heard a lot from when Vanessa and I lived in Seattle. A lot of the musicians that we played with would mention that and say, yeah, I won, you know, the trumpet division and I got to play on the big stage, you know, with so-and-so big artist, and that's what made me want to be a musician, you know. So I think it's a really good way of melding together what happens during the day with what happens at night. And I think that's hugely important. And the way we learn jazz, I mean, yes, we teach it institutionally. I know I have a job doing it, but really most of how it works is it's a one-on-one kind of mentorship is really how the music is really passed down. So we're excited about that. So that's another element of the evening concerts that, like we've said that we want the evening concerts, we want great artists and everything, but we want it to be a culmination of what happens with the students that day, with the educational part. So, some of the improvements that we're making as far as the educational thing, Vanessa's been working really hard. We'll have a new, because it's competitive, we'll need a new rubric with numbers on it and stuff like that. But she, with the help of some folks on campus, has developed a program, so all the adjudicators will have an iPad, and they'll have just a really easy pull-down menu with numbers and all that kind of stuff. And each category, we have categories for, like, you know, improvised solos and time feel and intonation and all these different things that they'll be adjudicated on, and they're all weighted a little bit differently, but the program will figure that all out, and they'll be able to do that, hit a button, and it automatically goes to, I mean, it'll get sent to the main place where people are tabulating stuff, and the directors will have that feedback pretty much immediately. So that's a change, and like I said, I adjudicate a lot of festivals, and none of them are doing that. None of them are, I mean, and that seems like it's, you know, when we got into it, you know, it's like, wow, this is really pretty easy to do. The technology is there. The university has, I mean, we have lots of tablets and stuff, plenty that we can do this on. So we're excited about that. As long as the internet doesn't go down, it'll be cool. You know, I think we were going to have like somebody's going to keep track of it on paper just in case, you know, we need to do that. Also, we're going to go to some voice recorded comments for the band, kind of like a little play-by-play. As the bands and choirs are performing, the adjudicator will have a little handheld digital thing, and, you know, saxophones, watch your intonation, you know, that kind of thing, so they can kind of get that immediate feedback. And then, of course, that is real easy. It will be uploaded to the site for the directors to get almost instantaneous. That one will take a few minutes, but it'll be very quick assessment and feedback, which is really what the directors want. They want to know what they can do to help their students be better, to be more successful. So, and once again, like we mentioned before, that the return of all these, everything happening on the campus. And Nancy, we kind of mentioned this thing. We talked about building relationships and stuff. Well, finally, I'll leave you with just a quote from Lionel Hampton. Gratitude is when memory is stored in the heart and not in the mind. So it's making these personal connections, I think, that has been what has made this festival so successful for so many years. And we are just going to work really hard to continue providing those kind of and it's a cliche, it gets thrown around a lot, but those kind of transformative experiences for our students, for the students that come here. And yes, you know, one part of it is that they get on campus and they go, oh, this place is great. They might see themselves coming to school here, which is not a bad byproduct of everything that we do, so we're excited about it.